Hi everybody, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Hope you guys having a good day or hoping that you guys have better days ahead. This is Marlon here, and this is episode. No, not really an episode. This is actually just your national weather discussion for today. The reason why I didn't really start streaming at 6 o'clock was because I had so much to do, and also I needed to relax just about a few more minutes. And also, I was running. I also finished late, at work. But how you guys doing? And well, given that today is election day in the United States, though it is not a presidential one nor a congressional one. It's more like a localized thing, at least in my area. But for those, elsewhere throughout the country, may have high-profile elections like governor races. But right now, this is not, this is not meant. This is a place not meant for politics. It's not a place for politics. I mean. So anyway, let's just talk about the weather. Hope you guys having a good day, or well, I've already said that. Anyway, there are 32 active weather alerts. There are 20 high wind warnings, 2 air quality alerts, 4 flood warnings, and 6 red flag warnings. So now let's take a look at the overall picture. We do have an area of high pressure just dominating throughout the eastern seaboard. So you can see just a few clouds throughout the Ohio Valley. I thought I hear background music, but then again, well, yeah, it's the trauma. Alright, and we do have another area of high pressure just over the southwest generally. And we do have a warm front that's near Northern California and southwestern Oregon. Northern Oregon all the way to Montana, there is a stationary front that's sneaking through. And then becoming it's also a stationary front as it snakes its way through Wyoming and then towards South Dakota, and then becomes a warm front through Nebraska and Iowa, then a stationary front once again once it goes through Missouri, Illinois, Kentucky, and briefly in Tennessee. Now let's go region by region and see what we got. So what do we got? Okay, so let's start off in the Northeast, where we do have some spotty showers and clouds in northern New England, moving to the southeast, and although we do see some few clouds and showers rolling through from Lake Ontario and Toronto as well, and a little bit of Lake Erie, but not enough to produce any widespread showers. Maybe localized areas, maybe. But otherwise, it's going to be very, very dry throughout southern New England, much of the rest of upstate New York, much of Pennsylvania, all the way down the I-95 corridor towards Virginia. Oh yeah, and also West Virginia too, despite a few clouds rolling in. We do have red flag warnings that are in effect located in northwestern Virginia and eastern tip of West Virginia. May have something to do with low humidity and some strong winds that are in the vicinity, but we'll take a look at that once we get to windy.com. We roll down the south, and virtually throughout the south, it's quite quiet. Not much to talk about, though. In the Florida Keys, just a few clouds and showers, just located near Key West and the far end part of the Florida Keys. Though, despite the fact that there are still some flood warnings in and around Daytona Beach and Orlando. And we make our way towards places like the Ohio Valley, just a few clouds, maybe a few showers in the vicinity in southern Ohio. It's quite clear in the Central Plains region. Texas is also looking dry as well. Arkansas, Louisiana. Plenty of clouds and showers and some rain throughout Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, and about to enter into Wisconsin, though clouds are still there in northern Wisconsin, the upper peninsula of Michigan, and the northern tip of lower Michigan. We go to the northwestern part of the country. We do have some clouds and showers, maybe a few areas with some snow showers here and there. Otherwise, it's going to be rainy, maybe a few rumbles of thunder in southeastern Montana, and just a few showers and clouds in southern Idaho and northern Wyoming. Yeah, some places may have some wintry precipitation. Throughout much of the Great Basin, it's quite dry, and all of the desert Southwest is dry, plus Southern California. Northern California, it's a few clouds and showers just north of San Francisco, near Sacramento. But in the far northern part near Oregon, there are lots of showers, and some maybe in the form of wintry weather, depending on the temperature profile, elevation, terrain, and all that jazz. But regardless, there are lots of high wind warnings scattered all across Northern California, Carson City, Reno, Lake Tahoe region, the Sierra Nevadas, and as well as northern part of the San Francisco area. Eureka and southwestern Oregon, high wind warnings are in effect as the atmospheric rivers pushing all that moisture into Northern California and the Pacific Northwest, and as well as sorry about that, folks. And sorry. Red flag warnings are also in effect in western Nebraska and southwestern South Dakota. Oh yeah, and let's not forget about air quality alerts in the Los Angeles area in Southern California, though in the LA metro area. We'll go further into that. Let's move into here, but let me just change the website if I haven't done so already. Now I have. Okay, so what are we dealing with, folks? Okay, so as you can see, we do have let's see, start off in the northeast, virtually plenty of westerly winds shifting to the southeast. Throughout much of the northeast, there have been winds that have moved up to 25 miles an hour, particularly in upstate New York, New England, but Maine up to 30 miles per hour, but right along the coast, just a little bit higher, though. We'll talk about gusts in just a few moments. In the mid-Atlantic, though, there is plenty of light and variable winds because it's basically a place where there's an area of surface high, which moves away from the center in a clockwise fashion. And let's take a look elsewhere throughout the south. Florida, winds are coming from the northeast. They're just moving to the southwest at up to 20 miles an hour, but going down the Florida Keys, there are winds moving up to 30 miles an hour there. And then we move into the lower Mississippi Valley. New Orleans has winds that are coming from the east, blowing up to 20 miles an hour, but the rest of Louisiana, winds are moving to the north, all the way to Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, and parts of Georgia. They're moving to the north at up to 20 miles an hour. Texas and Oklahoma also moving to the north, just up to 25 miles per hour throughout center and northern parts of Texas, much of Oklahoma. Then we go to the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and as well as Missouri and the Mississippi Valley. Winds are moving to the north. They're moving at up to 30 miles an hour along the Mississippi Valley. The Ohio Valley a little lighter, though. In the southern Central Plains, we do see winds shifting to the north, briefly to the northeast and back to the north, thanks in part due to westerly winds. In Nebraska, moving up to 30 miles an hour in some places, maybe a little lighter elsewhere. But then they shift back to the north in Minnesota. The Dakotas have winds that are coming from the northwest. They're blowing up to 30 miles an hour in some places. Minnesota, they have winds that are converging towards the northern part of the state. in which case it's more likely surface lows. You can see the Great Lakes region. We do see some diverging winds. In the eastern half of the Great Lakes region, the winds are moving to the east, blowing up to 30 miles an hour in some places. In the western part, they're moving to the north briefly, but then they move to the northeast. Now going to the western part of the U.S., we do have plenty of light and variable winds in the northern Rockies, all the way down to the Great Basin. But let's see what we got. In the desert southwest, we do see winds are somewhat light and variable, but it looks like as though winds are moving to the east-northeast in New Mexico. Moving up to 25 miles an hour, a little light in Arizona, but they look like as though winds are moving to the north-northeast, and up to 20 miles an hour. Nevada, up northward winds moving up to 25 miles an hour throughout much of the southern part of the state. Utah, light and variable. California, winds generally are moving to the north, but wind speeds also vary, particularly right around the southern end of the Central Valley, California. And they're a little variable in some places. And I also forgot to mention, so turns out, folks, in northwestern Virginia and eastern West Virginia, turns out there are not enough strong winds involved. They're moving to the east at up to 10 miles an hour. In western Nebraska and western South Dakota, winds are moving up to 30 miles an hour there. We'll check on the drought momentarily. But I see in Northern California, winds are moving up to 30 miles an hour in some places, maybe a little lighter though. But in places like Eureka and the surrounding areas, even in southwestern Oregon, winds are blowing a little up to 40 miles an hour in a few places, especially southwest of Eureka. In the Pacific Northwest, we do have winds generally blowing offshore, blowing to the northwest, as you can see. Inland, winds moving up to 20-25 miles an hour, but along the coast, though, they're blowing up to 30 miles an hour. Now, let's take a look at the temperatures real quick. So you can see, folks, we do have winds, temperatures in New England, they are in the mid-30s to mid-40s. Upstate New York and Pennsylvania, temperatures there, they're in the mid-40s to low 50s. The greater New York City area, though, their temperatures are in the mid-40s to the mid-50s, going into the Mid-Atlantic region, plus West Virginia. Temperatures there, they're in the upper 40s to mid-50s. Then towards the Carolinas and Georgia, and as well as Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana, Arkansas. Virtually, temperatures there, they range from the low 50s to the low 60s from what it looks like overall. Going down to Florida, in the Panhandle of Florida, temperatures are in the 60s. The Peninsula, temperatures are in the 70s. Oklahoma has temperatures that are in the 60s. Throughout western, much of Texas, temperatures range from the upper 60s to the upper 70s from what it looks like. In the Ohio Valley, virtually much of the Ohio Valley, their temperatures range from the upper 40s to low 60s. In Wisconsin and Michigan, temperatures range from the low 40s to the low 50s. In Minnesota, temperatures are in the mid-40s to the low 50s. In North Dakota, we have temperatures that are in the mid-30s to the upper 40s. South Dakota, they're in the mid-40s to mid-50s. Then right along the Missouri River Valley,